Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ozzy's Drives. In this episode, we're driving the BMW XM, a very controversial car from BMW, a car that really is here without any purpose, and we don't know what it is actually about, to be honest. We did an exterior and interior review on it. We did a POV drive. Check out the exterior and interior where we went into detail how this car works, what the purpose was, and especially who is it for and what does it actually do here. You know, it's really an interesting question, because this car is it stands here by itself, and it's not even called an SUV anymore. It's a sports activity vehicle. So when you tell me that a car is a sports activity vehicle, I need to find out. That's why I am Ozzy's Drives, and that's why this channel works. So we have a couple of driving modes, but first let me get through the engine and the stats about the car. Just to tell you, we have 2.8 tons, almost 3 tons of car right now as I'm sitting in it. It has 653 horsepower and 800 newton meters of torque with the hybrid system in total, which means we have a 4.4 liter V8 plus an electric engine accelerating the car. 0 to 100 takes 4.3 seconds, and it tops out at 250 kph. What is interesting is we have of course the M adaptive suspension, and we have a couple of driving modes. For example, the M hybrid mode, where you can change from hybrid, electric or e-control. Hybrid is basically hybrid, okay, so it's trimmed to ecological drive. You have electric, where it is fully electric as demonstrated now. We're driving fully electric. And then we have e-control, and e-control is sort of the range optimized version of the drivetrain, so you can drive and travel as long as possible. But what we're interested on is M mode. So you put the car into sport mode, and then I've configured the M1 mode for full acceleration. All right, so let's put it into M1 mode. ESP is off right now, and I can show you what the car is all about. So it's a very wide car here. Second gear, you go in. Look at that. Look at the oversteer here. Look at that. Very beautiful, very easy to drive. No problem whatsoever. I've driven it before, and I'm very surprised of how this car actually handles, considering we have 3 tons. It is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so first I had to laugh when I heard it's a sport utility vehicle. Oh no, Oh, that was very dangerous. Sports activity vehicle, because it's very big. It's such a big machine. It's so large. 2 meters in width, 1 meter and 76 in height. It's really a long car, 5 meters and 11. So I said, sport activity vehicle. I'm sorry, but BMW, it's just an excuse to bring us the car. But after I've driven it, boy oh boy, I have to admit, this really is a fast machine. Some very positive thing is this car in comfort mode is absolutely beautiful. You have a massaging seat here, just press the button. It is a very nice massaging seat actually. Even the lower part is activated. Then you have the upper part that massages you, and it takes on those bumps. Absolutely fantastic, really. There I see the luxurious side about this XM. But when you put it into M1, you put it into the M mode, it really becomes something you would have never imagined. You would never think that a car could drive as this does, considering the weight. It's incredible. It's really incredible, and here BMW has proved one more time that they are just the best driving car. They really are. I mean, you can take every single sort of BMW M car, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful to drive. Let's stop here and let's do a quick pull from 0 to 100. We have kind of a wet road, but this is really not a problem for the XM. So for that, you just put the car into M1, DSC is off, 4-wheel drive sport mode. You stop here, left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle. It says launch control active, and pow! Whoa! And there was 100. the first gear is really, really crazy. The pull in general, I mean, you see that? You can sort of just throw it around the corner and really push it on the throttle so that you don't have to steer. The weight controls it itself. Of course, it's a drift, it's an all-wheel drive drift, but it really is incredible to throw around those corners. Look at that. Fourth gear pull, very, very nice for such a heavy machine, and you always feel safe. The brakes are also very good. They are absolutely brilliant. So again, rolling start, first gear, bam! Look at that. Woohoo! You see that, how I threw it around the corner? I mean, an SUV, I just threw and power slided an SUV, man. You know, when I first heard of an SUV drift, I thought, how is that even possible? But here with this car, I'm just so surprised of how easy it is. I mean, I've never driven a car that is easier to drift. And the shifts are very fast, very aggressive, very nice on the throttle. The engine response is also brilliant. The electric engine helps with the response. You can tell in any RPM gauge, it really pushes forward, it jumps forward. That is great. And just a general acceleration, I mean, look at that. Third gear here, throw it into this corner. Very easy oversteer. Absolutely easy and brilliant to drive. It is so forgiving and very nice to control. We're driving on country roads, of course, back roads. It wouldn't be that fast on a racetrack. That is obvious. That is absolutely clear. But here on a country road, it's really brilliant. And the driving pleasure, I mean, they promise driving pleasure, and boy, they deliver, man. They really do. I mean, this is really great. The whole experience, the whole thing. I mean, I looked at it from the outside, I was very skeptical. I thought, oh man. But when you drive it, you forget about all of that. You really do. You forget about all of that because the drive pays for every single thing. This thing goes like a sports car. It goes like a sports car. All right, and let's accelerate. I love to drive uphill. It's always a little bit better than downhill, especially with heavy cars. 2 tons, 3 tons, 2 meters wide, and I'm just throwing it around those corners like a lightweight sports car. All right, and look at that. Oh my God, man. Wow. This bit is very nice to drive here. When you hear the sound, the shifts, all of it is just interesting to witness. I wonder what the XM red label will be like, because then it will have 600 horsepower just with the V8 and plus another 197 horsepower from the hybrid. So it's going to be close to 800 horsepower. I mean, why? It's interesting because I feel like BMW they just invented a new thing. Okay, so the first time they did it was with the X6. When the X6 came out, I thought, who wants that? Nobody needs something like that. But it's not the need, it's just they created it and people wanted it all of a sudden. Here, same thing. They just invented a new category. They just invented a new category, and they don't call it an SUV, a sports utility vehicle. They call it an SAV, a sports activity vehicle. So they just invented shit just to give the car a reason. I mean, what the fuck? They just invented SAV to give the car a reason, and it worked. It worked. This is a road car. I don't see any use case where you could drive this car off-road. I really don't. I mean, not at all. Even oversteering in third gear. I mean, and the funny thing is, the X6M, the X5M are even faster than this car. I mean, they're much lighter, they're faster. So there is actually no point at all why you would buy the XM, beside of it being a car that really drags attention. I mean, everybody looks at it. Every single human being, when you pass, they look at it. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I would have never thought. And it actually drives well. And we can thank BMW for that, because they really do an incredible job in terms of making a normal car, an SUV or all of that, making it drive and be a fun car to drive. Very good. Absolutely good. I give it really 8 out of 10 points in terms of fun, especially considering this is an SUV. But then, what's the point? I mean, you can have more fun with an M2. Costs you half the money. You could have more fun with an M5. Costs like basically the same. Also, the X6 and X5 will give you the same kind of fun, or even more fun, and are less expensive. So yeah, that leaves the question, what the fuck is it actually here for? What the fuck is it actually here for? I tried to cover that question in the exterior and interior review. I think I found out why it is here. You can see it there. And I think that's as far as we can take it, friends. I think you got the message. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Goodbye. Maybe a little drift in the end, so let's see. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick.